So why not liquid oxygen? It's easy. Here, I'll show you.
Are you okay, Pringle?
Yeah, I'm fine. Hey, Doopy, watch out for the liquid oxygen. Sorry about that. Here, let me help.
For oxygen...
Hi, we're going to fertile, I don't know.
183 degrees Celsius. If you were somehow able to fill a pool with liquid oxygen, attempting to breathe it in would be incredibly dangerous, and not just because of the low temperature. Your body's natural heat would cause the liquid oxygen to boil and become a gas, which means if you breathe it in, you would probably explode. Artie Hardy asks, what would the world be like if religion never existed?
All churches would instead be monuments to anime. I'd even have my own harem of waifus. Everyone would be dedicated to spreading the good word of weeb.
That almost sounds like a religion. I'm not sure about this.
Doopy, come check out this monument. What do you think?
It's glorious! Sign me up to this cult! I'll spread the word of weeb to all corners of the globe. It's hard to imagine a world without religion, as we humans have long tried to understand the world around us and will often find belief in concepts or deities. Before modern science, people would try to rationalize the world with what knowledge they currently had, which led to religion shaping cultures, morals, and laws. If religion had never existed, it's possible that humanity might not have advanced, remaining primal and tribalistic. Isaac Meza asks, where would mankind be if the wheel were never invented?
I guess if the wheel had never been invented, people would just adapt and use other shapes, like triangles, or maybe my favorite shape, the squircle.
What the heck is a squircle?
Look at my head, Doopy. It's an almost perfect squircle. Just imagine a world where the squircle replaced the wheel.
Humanity, even at a primitive level, has the ability to create tools to aid them. If the wheel was never invented, it's likely that somebody would eventually create it. If not, imagine a world where wheels do not exist. Transportation would be primitive, mills and grindstones would not exist, and even some forms of entertainment, like a roulette wheel, would be absent. It would be a pretty slow, hungry, and boring world. Gabrielle Price asks, how do cats purr?
Cats sometimes eat things they shouldn't. If you hear a cat purring, chances are it swallowed a smartphone set to vibrate. Oh, 1 second, everyone. I need to take this. Hello?
Pringle, leave that poor thing alone!
Was it someone important?
It was a crank call. Like most bodily functions, the action of purring begins in the cat's brain. It sends neural messages to the laryngeal muscles that causes them to twitch. The rate at which these muscles twitch is about 25 to 150 times per second. This vibration then causes the cat's vocal cords to separate as the cat breathes, which produces the sound we call purring. S. Nicholas Hubert asks, why do we get morning breath?
Maybe you're a sleepwalker. No, a sleep eater. You should retrace your steps and find out if you ate something bad to make your breath stink. I only eat good foods that are colored yellow. Speaking of which, Doopy, would you like to try one of my smoothies?
Sure, thanks, Pringle. What is this?
Oh, you know, just yellow foods, bananas, lemons, cheese, scrambled eggs, mustard, curry, nutritious maggots.
I'm gonna throw up. Bad morning breath is caused by a dry mouth and lack of saliva. Saliva is necessary to wash away food particles and bacteria that accumulates in your mouth. Snoring or breathing through your mouth while you sleep will cause your mouth to become drier, increasing the likelihood that you will wake with a bad case of morning breath. Boss Major 345 asks, how long would it take to successfully colonize Mars?
Not to be rude, but why would you go there? It's just filled with red rocks and Martians, and they're not the nicest people.
You what, mate? Come over here, say that to our faces.
Hey, we don't want any trouble.
Yeah, jog on.
Currently, how long it would take to colonize Mars. The current obstacle that experts are searching for a solution for is a reliable way to travel to and from the planet with relative ease. Right now, the estimated travel time to Mars, when the planet is at its closest to Earth, is about 260 days. Once the issue of traveling to Mars is solved, colonization may begin. Asen Beaky asks, how would humanity evolve if we only had one gender?
Do you need another gender to evolve? Just do what I do. Oh, hey.
Hey, how are you doing?
I I, or any other human, can do that.
I don't think their race is going to live very long.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Since both men and women are required for reproduction, a world where only one of them exists would not have much of a future. For humanity to exist with only one gender, the human race would have to be biologically different. During early evolution, we would have had to become similar to clownfish or flatworms, which have the ability to change their sex. But then, would we still be able to call ourselves humans? Awesome Gaming YT asks, can you overboil an egg?
If you boil an egg too little, it will be all runny and disgusting. If you cook it just right, the chick will hatch. But if you boil the egg for too long, you'll kill the poor little bird. So be careful.
No, Pringle. An egg has to be fertilized for a chick to hatch.
What does fertilizer have to do with eggs?
You'll find out when you're older. Maybe in another 2,000 years. Yes, it is possible to overboil an egg. The ideal time to boil an egg is about 9 to 11 minutes. Any longer than 13 minutes, and a gray coating will form around the yolk, which itself will become harder and develop a green coloration. You will also find that the yolk now has a slight sulfuric taste, which is not very enjoyable. Norma Garland asks, why are cats afraid of cucumbers?
In the wild, the ferocious cucumber is a cat's natural enemy. They hunt felines in order to pilfer the smartphones within their stomachs.
Who was that?
No idea. Some lunatic. One theory is that to a cat, a cucumber looks a lot like a snake. Snakes are deadly predators in the wild and tend to be adept at sneaking up on their prey. Cats are also afraid of things that are unknown to them and which could present a danger. Reacting by quickly leaping away or preparing to fight is their natural response when confronted by something dangerous. Some random guy asks, why do your ears pop when you yawn?
I know what mine do. It's because that's where I pop my corn.
Oh, hold on a second. Keep going, Pringle.
Okay.
Aw, yeah. Movie night tonight. The popping sensation in your ears is caused by the pressure differences between the inside and outside of the eardrum. You sometimes experience popping when you yawn because the pressure in your ears is being relieved by the opening of the eustachian tube, which connects your ears to the back of your nose and throat.
That has stuff.
Guys, I'm glad you like me so much, but
No.
I think I need to take a break.
Hold up! There's gotta be some more in there. We can make a fortune off this. Shake the idiot!
Coconut.
Elfin, stop! You're going to kill him!
So be it!
Recipes are better with Cheetos. Tostito salsa goes with everything. Let's summer.
Reminder, check out Wix with the link down below. If you're curious about the back end of creating your own website, here's a quick preview. You'll get access to mailboxes, invoice functionality, marketing tools, as well as tutorials on the best SEO practices. Additionally, marketing integrations for Google AdWords and Facebook, as well as app
Okay.
extra pizzazz. Get your booty over to Wix and see what you can be building tomorrow. Oh, and also, got the latest old card update, Pixiumville, a new character, heaps of new skins, a new power-up, new level, daily missions, and offline mode. Download from the
That was
Android
scary.
or iOS App Store and start racing today for free.
Preparing to fight is their natural response when confronted by...
I will
Alright.
fight you both.
Casey Pitton asks,
There's a fight
why
over
does it
here.
hurt when you don't blink?
Because Shima will
Oh, son
pull
of
your
a
eyes
poop.
out if you don't give in. Or kind of like a cat licking their fur to cool down. Your eyes have to get wet and slimy in order to cool down. What is that drawing there? Satan looks like Shima. Shima looks like Satan. What did you do? Are you proud? Are you proud of this?
Humans blink in order to keep the eyes moist
Purple
and
steel
clean. If
bridge.
you don't blink, they dry out, causing irritation. The reason why it's so difficult to keep the eyes open
You
is
should
that
get
they
a
have
good
an
stuff
automatic
to a
function
mythic.
to blink and prevent your eyes from drying out. On average, this happens 25 times a minute. Kawaii Marshmallow asks, what would happen if the world was a square?
Everybody would fall off.
I think she's implying you'd float away because there's no gravity.
But there's no gravity, so why aren't the countries floating off? And the little people look pretty excited to be out there. Maybe they're just jumping really high?
What, into outer space?
Like a spacewalk with no suits or oxygen. It looks like fun.
Due to gravity, an object the mass and size of the Earth could not be any other shape than spherical. In theory, if the Earth was smaller, in the shape of a cube, the atmosphere would collect around the center of each of the 6 faces of the cube. This means that all the water and air would also only be accessible in those small pockets, and life would be unsustainable elsewhere on the planet. Where are you going?
Space.
But you'll, like, die.
No, you'll die because you didn't follow your dreams. 3, 2, 1, lift off. Shut up.
Liam Greathouse asks, how would someone think if they didn't know any languages?
They think about fruit. Like bananas or peaches or whatever that thing is. Is that supposed to be a coconut? Covered in grass? You colored outside the lines again. Is that a coconut though? Or is that like a moldy avocado?
It is possible to think without language. However, language plays an important role in how we think. Some people that acquire a language later in life can recount being able to think. For example, we understand the concept of a dog, whereas someone without a language would only think in terms of every dog they have ever seen. BlackCat2300 asks, if you drink your own blood, are you a cannibal?
Are you a cannibal? Are you trying to actually express this? Are you? Well, okay.
Fortunately, licking blood from a wound or a bloody nose is not considered cannibalism. However, there are forms of self-cannibalism that involve drinking one's own blood, such as auto-vampirism. It's an aspect of the vampire lifestyle and considered cannibalistic, since the people are intentionally harvesting their own blood. Can you not?
But you look so delicious.
You really think so? Ow! His biggest fan asks, what would happen if you put yourself upside down for a long time?
You'd be a cloud with clinical depression and PTSD, and you'd cry raindrop tears onto the uncaring pavement of life. And you'd be a bit dizzy.
Being upside down for a prolonged period of time would result in death. It is estimated that it would take between 8 to 10 hours depending on the person. The reason is that humans have evolved to stand upright, and so gravity plays a role in blood getting to the legs and feet. When the body is upside down, the body has to work harder to pump blood to the feet, and so it pulls in the lungs and brain. Abigail Lopez asks, what does your eye taste like?
A grandma from